So yeah, welcome to another game. I deleted an earlier recording because it took way too long to get to an actual game, but here we are, and I'm also already in the first position to place. Well, with Cities and Nights you always want strong lead, and the 5-6 just screams out to me, and I will take the 5-6-11, and that has one quite specific reason actually. I will put the road here, which I will explain in a second. So yeah, maybe my entire strategy was completely wrong, but my reasoning behind the 5-6-11 was mainly the following. So you want strong wheat anyway. In Cities and Nights, it's the most important resource when you look at the pure resources, but also cities on wood, on sheep, and on ore yield commodities, which are quite valuable in Catan generally. And the thing is that grain and brick don't produce commodities. So if you put your settlement on grain and brick, the products that you, of course, want as many different products as possible always. And if you get grain and brick for your settlement, you are all three products that you are lacking, that you have to obtain for your city, yield you commodities. That's the main reason why I like placing on grain and brick for my settlement. I also looked at the grain port, but the grain port lies on a terrible spot with no production. So that wasn't a serious option to consider. In generally, this board is pretty hard because the desert is in the worst place it could possibly be. It shields off 3 tiles almost entirely. And yeah, it's a 4-player game, so there's not much space on the board in general. This is going to be a really tough one. Actually, Pink, I think, has the best setup of all, because he managed to get on the 6-4 wheat, which I wouldn't have granted him if I was in 4th position spot. This is really, really bad. So I might go on the 10-9 or the 5-10, but the 5-10 yields me too much wood, which I'm not very fond of, because wood always pairs with bricks, and I don't produce many bricks. So let's go on the 9-10, but yeah, this is a pretty bad setup compared to Pink. It's not impossible, however, I guess. I mean, I do have nice production overall. I do get the 2 most valuable commodities, which are paper and cloth, yeah, but this will be a hard one to win against Pink. I think I should have gone for the 8-4-10 in first position. Was a little bit too hasty, afraid people might quit if I take too long time thinking. But yeah, anyway, being on grain and brick with your settlement is usually a good idea for that exact same reason that I just laid out. You can place your city on tiles with yield commodities. The other thing to consider by this 5-6-11 was my placement of my road, which in retrospect wasn't the best placement available, but I like to place my road if I'm not sure which spots are going to be taken anyway. Anyway, I prefer to place my road between the 2 most valuable tiles available from that spot, so I can build a knight there and protect these 2 tiles from the robber, which yeah, my placement was pretty poor. So anyone wants to trade me an ore? I bet not. I mean, I really need 9 and 10 to salvage this. As long as 9 and 10 don't roll, my game is toast. There's 110 at least. Yeah, I could take a grain for wood. Or a brick, I would take a brick. As well for 1 wood, because I produced too many wood. Yeah, I hate it when people are get quick to reject trades. I mean, it's basically Catan for many players seems to come down to a mouse exercise, which I'm not fond of at all. Yeah, I will probably hope for a 4-1 for ore. There it is. There's the 6. That's nice. So if I don't have it out now, I can at least 4-1 my grain for ore and protect my city. Red is able to protect his. Good for him. Blue will be the one in trouble. I don't have it out, luckily. So I can do paper. I can at least ask if somebody wants to trade me an ore for 2 grain before I have to 4-1 my valuable grains, but of course I have to do it. The barbarian is only 2 steps away from arriving in a 4-player game. That's way too dangerous. So I managed to protect my city, which is good. So the only advantage that we have on pink is that pink doesn't produce many commodities. In fact, he only produces coins on the 11. Yeah. So with many 9s and 10s, I might have a chance against pink, but that's basically the only scenario I can think of, like getting a resource monopoly or road building or any of those great development cards that would massively improve my game. But on pure production, we are no match to pink, unfortunately, especially if pink gets on this grain port, which he desperately should get and want. What did someone write in the text? Somebody traded wrongly. Okay. That's a 9. That's actually a really good number because, well, first blue loses the city. But that's not the important thing. But the important thing about that 9 is that the best production player on the board, pink, doesn't produce. And somebody quit and it's blue. The guy who lost the city. And I mean, I can't really fathom my frustration over players like quitting the game once they lose a city. I mean, it's almost so common on Catan Universe that it's basically what you expect people to do, but that doesn't make it right, obviously. So yeah, basically my only asset on this point are commodities, and hopefully I get enough development cards, but it doesn't seem like it. There have been some 8 votes, so maybe, just maybe, I can ask for a brick. Oh, I can ask for a brick for a sheep, maybe? Nope. It's not that important though. I mean, as pathetic as it sounds, my strategy at this point is basically to just hope for a resource monopoly or a road building. Any card that would massively improve my game. A 5, which is a nice number because pink doesn't produce on it. Again, it's basically when I think about getting ahead, oh, that's a trade I can actually accept. Getting ahead and improving my own game. The main thing is what does help me that doesn't help him, basically. So I'm not very keen on an 11, for example, even though it produces me a valuable brick, but what pink gets from the 11 is even better, so I won't be celebrating when like an 11 rolls now. And I don't have very many great expansion spots either. I need to at least try to fight for the 9 for 11, even though I probably won't make it in time. Yeah, blue, even though blue is an AI and AIs in general don't play super well, but in this particular case, blue should win that race. Basically, my only hope is like getting a trader, getting a resource monopoly, getting a road building, like anything that improves my game. Because pink is just running away with it. Yeah, there's a green card for me. It's an irrigation, which yields me 4 grain, which is pretty decent, but would actually mostly be valuable in combination with like a trader. And I 7 out. Of course I 7 out. And the barbarian also arrives, so I can't even I can't even do the little funny trick of moving the robber. Yeah, I can discard all of my grain since I have an irrigation on my hand. Yeah, how to stop pink? I could have discarded my second sheep, I guess. I mean, 9 produces well enough. I just really didn't want to discard monopolies on this turn. Commodities. Ten is a nice throw. I also really would value the aqueduct. I called it the green advantage in earlier videos. The aqueduct is the correct name for the third expansion on green, which yields you a product of choice every time a number rolls which you don't produce. No. He must have a city in hand by now, right? He doesn't? Okay. Okay, then I value that 9. That getting more commodities is obviously a good thing. I would now actually value an 11 if it won't, because then I can play my irrigation trade-offs for grains for a brick and take that 4-9-11 spot away, which obviously would improve my game. And obviously, I would actually value any roll that is not a 7 now because I've got 10 products in hand. It's not a 7, okay. But it's a 6, that doesn't bring me anything. I can try to at least ask for a brick. I could even give you Paper, guys. Nobody has paper yet. Oh, red offers exchange. He would give me 2 sheep for paper. I could 4 for 1. Yeah, let's do that. So I can now play my irrigation card and 4 for 1 sheep and grain for 2 brick. So I can cut blue off from this 4911 spot. I can activate my 9 as well, and I can extend. So now my production should at least be a little better. Obviously, I still need those numbers to roll. At least I now have also access to natural ore, which is important because sooner or later we all need to upgrade to cities, especially on a board like this one. I mean, this was obviously a stupidly expensive trade. A trade which I'm normally absolutely not in favor of, but like trading 4 sheep and 4 grain away for 2 bricks. But in this special circumstance, that was like my only prey of getting anywhere in this game. And still, we need to do everything we possibly can to stop Pink. Because his production is just too ahead of ours. No, I'm not going to trade with you. All hands on deck now. It's an 8. That's not a good number because it doesn't produce me a single product. If it's my turn, I would also upgrade my knight to ensure Pink doesn't get a victory point. I mean, I'm not super worried about that just yet. I mean, Pink getting the victory points doesn't yield him any more production, obviously, and it also focuses the attention on him, which is good. Because all attention needs to be on him. But I should, but of course, too many victory points can also get dangerous. It's always a double-edged sword in some way. I will choose to go for another active knight because I want basically to have more opportunity to move the rubble around once I roll a 7. And producing grain to activate those knights is actually not an issue, especially since I got the irrigation card. So that should prevent the victory points from happening. Yeah, he steals from Pink, which is very reasonable. It's another 8, that's not a good number. But I get a development card, and now I should choose which color. And actually, with 4 players, I'm choosing a blue one. It's a bishop, which is, yeah, really one of the nicer cards. So, in general, I elaborated on this earlier, but if you choose a development card, if you're in the lead, that would be my advice. If you're in the lead, always pick green. I'm obviously not in the lead in this game, neither one points, nor one production, nor in any other metric, but in the lead, always pick green. In a 3-player game, if you're not in the lead, I would most of the time opt for green as well. Only opt for yellow in case you're not on both ore and wheat, since 2 of the green cards actually, the mining and the irrigation, and they don't yield you anything if you're not on ore or respectively wheat. So that would be like my advice for a 3-player game. In a 4-player game, when I'm not in the lead, I usually choose blue. Simply because many blue cards, like the wedding, which is really nice, like the spy, like the turncoat, are more likely to give you great advantage in a four-player game when there's more opponents to choose from when it comes to stealing. So actually, I'm not that sad that my 6 is blocked, because Pink would have produced twice and he could have traded that for any product he wants. So I'm actually quite fine with that happening, but of course I will play my bishop to also steal from Pink, ideally also from Red, but they are not on the same axis, unfortunately. Red is also getting increasingly strong. But yeah, I need to. Well, should I really play my irrigation to activate both knights? I think that would be a bit much, and I would have too many cards left on hand, which is dangerous for the robbers. So just activate one knight and keep that irrigation behind. I think it's the correct play in this position. So my next goal obviously is a city. I think most of you have guessed that already. To city up on that 5, 6, 11. And I can do that next turn probably, since I have the irrigation which heals me 4 grain, and then with either the fleet or the trader I can trade 2 of those grains for the third ore and get my city. The question is, I can now also trade sheep instead of grain, which I will probably do via the fleet and keep my trader to play it on grain probably, but later when I actually have produced more grain on that 5, 6, 11. In general, if I have both a fleet and a trader, I usually opt for the fleet first, since the trader only gives you a victory point, and that makes you more of a target than necessary. So play the irrigation card, and let's upgrade to a city, let's upgrade trade. I don't even need to play my fleet right now. But I could, because those sheep are pretty useless. Yes, I will play it on sheep just to get rid of 2 more cards and actually trade for a coin. I don't naturally produce any coins, so it's always good to have at least level 1 on all possible city extensions. Red could of course now chase away one of my knights with his stronger knight. That's an issue, but I'm actually not that keen on keeping those knights. I'm not competing for the victory point in the long run. 8 is bad. That shouldn't be rolled anymore. So red is actually improving a lot in this game, since red also has city extensions. Other than pink. I think pink actually made some important strategic mistakes in this game, that he really, with his grain port, should have... No, I can't. I don't want sheep. I can't do anything with those sheep. I think Pink made a strategic mistake by not ever in this game trading 2 grain for a commodity to get going in any of those city extensions. So he's falling behind Red now, who has 4 development cards on hand. And I'm sure he will do something useful with that. I got a diplomat, I can take away a road, which I will probably play on myself. So if you remove an own road via the diplomat, yeah, I should produce enough grain, that's okay. So if you remove an own road, you can build it somewhere else, which Makes sense in this case to maybe go for the 11-12. Also, maybe compete for longest roads. Although I should be way behind red on that front. We're 7 points now. I really should start stealing from red. Because he has the valuable city extensions. Maybe I should just play my diplomat on red instead of myself. Yeah, it's a 7, and I need to choose where to move the robber to my active knights. Well, I will steal that one card from pink via this knight anyway, but with the other robbers, I really should be targeting red now. Move here, steal from pink, that's a sheep. Chase away, I mean, the city is defended well enough. That's not an issue at the moment. Let's move it to his 5, because he's on double 5. That doesn't give him any more production. And yeah, I should play my diplomat on red at this point. Just to slow him down a little bit. I took a slight risk by not reactivating, but I hope it will be fine, since pink cannot devalue his knights, neither can blue. There's a load of 7s coming out of a sudden. Yeah, should really steal from red if I was in pink's place. And pink should also aim to activate that knight to prevent red from getting a victory point. So it's getting a bit dangerous with those 7s for me. I should have probably not taken that risk and just reactivate one knight. Well, it's fine. We have one, respectively red has won a victory point. Which of course I'm not happy about, but at least I didn't lose the city, right? The issue is that with just rolls like a 2, red is the only one profiting since he can choose a product of his choice due to his aqueduct. Which is really monstrous in this game. Well, I can 2-for-1 those bricks, because I'm on the brick port, so let's do that. Activate that light that protects my valuable 5 and 6 tiles, which in the future, with the trader, hopefully, could really do something for me. I have second paper, which is nice. Although the aqueduct would only really benefit me on 8. All the other major numbers I do have already. But still, 8 is of course one of the major numbers. So really should be aiming to produce on 8, not directly, but through the aqueduct at some point. I get a second trader, which is okay. He steals the wood from me, which is not good because I'm actually low on wood. And he's probably going to build that metropolis, yeah. Red is really doing well. Re-obtaining longest road, which I do dream of challenging at some point, but this is bad. This is bad. Come to anything, really. Yeah, so to come back, I think Pink made a strategic mistake by never trading two of his grains for like one cloth or one paper or one coin or anything. Anything. He could have really needed that. So my next goal would be to, you know, buy a city, of course, on 4911, which would always be nice, but yeah, let's do that. Pink is not the danger anymore. But since he never got any development cards, his game stagnated at some point. So yes, he got the second city, which is nice on 8-4-10, but it actually came with a price for him. And yeah, Red is going to build the Green Metropolis. Chase away that Wobble again. I actually hope he steals from me. From me now, since I have 8 cards, and that would put me at 7 cards and not at risk anymore to 7 out. But obviously, he saw that and stole from Pink instead. I get a resource monopolist, which is nice. And because everybody chose grain, I guess. And it might have an ore too. Because an 11 has been voted. Players actually might have ore. I might look stupid after this. Or do I play it on grain, the safe choice? Yeah, I played on grain. A 6 has been rolled, so. So maybe somebody will actually trade me an ore for a grain? Otherwise, I will just go for a city via my trader, of course. I should get the yellow metropolis at some point. Yeah, I can't wait that long. My turn time is almost up. So let's play a trader on grain, and let's trade those grains away for a city, and also activate. I'm not choosing to build a city wall. I could have to ensure me not 7ing out, but it's quite late in the game, and I don't think that's worth it anymore. I really should be keeping those bricks in order to trade. Yeah, that's the issue with the AIs. The AI has no strategy. The AI trades with the player who is in the lead all the time. And obviously usually on his terms. So the player who leads really benefits from the AI, unfortunately. Yeah, let's do that. That's a nice trade for me. And he upgrades his knight, which I'm also very thankful for, since Red can't get another victory point. Actually, I probably need to attack Red's longest road if I want to have any chance. Oh, another monopoly. Chases away the robber. he does get 2 ore as well, so probably builds a city. So he concedes that victory point. Yeah, that victory point goes to Pink now, but Pink obviously is no longer the dangerous player at all. 6. Fine. I can't chase away the robber, unfortunately. I would love to steal from red a couple of times. So I will just trade 2 brick for wood. And extend my road. Which direction shall I go in? I will choose for this direction. That's less vulnerable to red. If I extend here, red could just build a road and jump inside of my road. I'm okay with pink getting the victory point. It's a 7. Pink should really be stealing from red. That's a slight issue with most tournament formats I've actually played in. In any tournament game at this point, Pink would probably place the rumble on me, simply because we are fighting for second place. And there's probably no stopping red anyway. Which is of course a weakness, because it's my philosophy, to be honest with you, that you should attack the leading player in Catan. So my 2 roads were only partially to build a settlement here. Mainly I do want to attack red's longest road. But the 3 doesn't help. In fact, it's only blue and red produce on 3. So he gets his 12th victory point. He only needs like a stupid trader card or anything to finish it up. So in this turn, I really should take longest road, which is an expensive task, but I have to take one for the team, I guess. Maybe somebody wants to trade me a brick. They really should, because if they have one, yeah, pink is correct. They should trade me at every opportunity for me to steal longest road, just for the game to continue. Because if I don't steal it right now, the game is probably not going to continue. So let me go here, maybe. Yeah, longest road taken. But it's just an extension of our fate, I'm afraid. So I will not spend these 2 paper anymore. It's too late in the game for that. In fact, what I will probably do is trade those 2 paper away for a product. Yeah, so We are all just inching to keep this game alive, basically. Einmal die Augen bitte ausreiben. But probably it will all be in vain. Yeah, give him a paper. Paper isn't that valuable anymore. Okay, he has an alchemist. That will probably wrap it up. Because he will take my lowest roll to build a settlement. Yeah, surely. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Yeah, it's over. Thank you, guys. You just need to build a single road. Just do it. This game is done. What? He keeps me alive? Okay. I mean, this is like... This is stupidly dangerous of him. I mean... I can trade those 2 coins. I can build a settlement, build a city. I mean... I can also go for a metropolis. I obviously won't win, but... It's actually a dangerous game that Red has played. I'm pretty sure he must have had the resources to win. Maybe not. So I can do 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just go for the metropolis. I mean, I have a medicine on hand. If I had a settlement, which I don't, unfortunately, but with a settlement, I would have had 12 points. At least made it to almost 12. Which I guess it's nice. Just move on, guys. This game is over. And it actually should have been over last turn. I mean, if it were like my turn right now, I probably could win. But unfortunately, it's not my turn, it's Red's turn. And he wins, but it's basically a matter... It has basically become a matter of whose turn it is, and I mean, Red was never really in danger, but he shouldn't have let it come to that, I guess. Yeah, just build a road and steal my trainer to I could steal it back immediately, but just add insult to injury. I mean, this is all unnecessary stuff just to show off, basically. I mean, just finish it with a single road. Congratulations. Yeah, that wasn't one of my best performances, to be brutally honest. But alright, guys, you lose some at this. I never even stood a chance. Maybe I was focused on pink for a little bit too long, and pink actually didn't play that well strategically. Red played really well, so shout out to him, because blocking that 9 sheep was actually really classy move. Yeah, not one of my best performances, but what will you do? Alright, guys, have a good night.